everyone, I'm Miss Mary Beth. I'm the Youth Services Librarian at Ingles Memorial Library in Ringe, and I'm here today for Fun Friday. And today's Fun Friday is all about America. Today is Friday, July 3rd, which means tomorrow is July 4th. That's Independence Day. That's the day our country declared its independence and we became a nation. So you guys are all probably going to celebrate this weekend. But you can celebrate by making some crafts too. You can make a very silly hat to wear. We're going to make a pinwheel in the wind decoration. And we're going to use paint to make another kind of decoration. So join me today for 3 different decorations, all for the 4th of July. We'll start off with my very silly hat. It was very, very easy. All that I had to do was I made the crown part, like the rim, by taking one red piece of paper and I folded it in half long ways, like a hot dog. Are you going to be eating a hot dog this weekend? I probably will be. And then I just need to make it long. So my head is probably bigger than all of yours. So I'm going to make it as long as I can. That's what I had to do for this one. So all I did was I taped them together, and then I'm going to loop them around. And I'll just put on another piece of tape. Okay. So that's going to fit my head. But make sure you size it to your own head. And then I have to make the stars. And the stars are super easy to make. All I need is our pipe cleaners. And I've already cut some blue and red and white stars. I used our AccuCut machine to get them very perfect, but you can cut stars pretty easily, even without an AccuCut machine. So I'm going to fold them in half, fold my pipe cleaners in half. But you can also do the full length of the pipe cleaner if you want your stars really high. Right now these are only folded in half, and they're still pretty tall. So then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, take a star. Now if you have some glue, you can use glue, or you can just use tape. And just tape your pipe cleaner to your star. And let me do a red one, because we need all of America's colors. Red and white and blue. Red. I'll just add one more white one. And we'll see how it goes. Okay. So I have these 3, and then I had made a couple before, so I have a lot that I can add. I'll add even more than on my hat. So I'll take my crown again. Maybe I'll put a little tape on the outside. You can make it, make it as secure as you want. Depends on how long you're going to wear it. So then I'm just going to tape these to the inside. And you can tape them at all different heights. So all I did was I put it, and then I just took a piece of tape and I taped it in. You can also hot glue it. That's what I did with this one. And that might make it even more secure if you're going to wear it for longer, but it depends on what you want to do. However you want to make it is okay. So I'll do blue. Maybe I'll gather them all at the front. You could also do them all the way around if you wanted. Then I'll put a red one down here. That one's a little lower. How's that look? A little bit staggered. Then I'll put on another white one. I tend to go in patterns, but you don't have to. You can make it however you want. Now I'll do a blue. And then I'll put on one more red. And I only made 6 on this one, but really, if you wanted to make 10 or 12 or however many, or 50 for all the states, 13 for the original colonies. So here's my original with only 3 stars. How does this look with even more? I think that's pretty cool. So, that was super easy. All you need are pipe cleaners and paper. And tape or glue. So there's our first craft. For our second craft we're going to make is a decoration that you can put outside. So I prepped it a little bit already just because I wanted the paint to dry. So all you need is a white paper plate and just paint a bunch of red stripes on it. Just like our flag, red and white stripes. And on one side I punched a hole in it. So because it's all dry, I'm just going to cut in a swirl. So it doesn't have to be exact at all. So just kind of cut around and make your circle smaller and smaller. And then it's going to make the outside bigger and bigger. The more curls you do, the better it'll look. And then just kind of keep cutting until you can't cut anymore. And then when you pick it up, it's going to go like that in the wind. So then, but really, if you want to make even more cuts, you can. Let's see. I think I'm going to cut a little bit more on the inside, so that way it curls even more. That way it really, really comes down. Nice. So then at the top, I'm just going to take some string. I just have some yarn right here. I'm just going to pull it through. And you can put your yarn, you can make your yarn as long as you want, really. It's a little tough to thread this. Okay. And then I'm also going to tape on a little blue star. Just because I wanted to add some blue to this. But if you wanted, you can tape on some red or white stars as well. So then I'm just going to cut my string, put a little knot on the end, and there we go. The star's kind of high. You can add a couple more stars if you wanted. You can have stars all the way up your string. But there you go. And you can just hang it up outside and it'll swirl in the wind as you eat your hot dog. And then our last craft is a pretty easy one too. I really like to do this kind of thing whenever there's a holiday, which I like to celebrate holidays a lot. So all we're going to do is take a star that I've cut already and a plain piece of white paper. We're going to put our star down and we're going to use paint. Do you have paint at home? I hope so. But if not, you could also use crayons and just color the edges. I'll show you as we do it. So I'm just going to make a little, put some red paint on my paper, on my plate to use on my paper. I guess I don't really need white if it's on white paper. But I also have some, you can also do it on red paper or blue paper. So then I'm going to take a paintbrush. And right here I have my star on my white paper. You can't really tell, but it's there. And I'm going to hold it down really tightly. And I'm going to dip my brush in some red paint. And I'm just going to brush the edges. I'm going to start in the center of the star and brush out off of the paper. And I'm just going to cover the edges. Go from the white star out. And add plenty of red paint. And make brushes out. And then when I think I've covered the whole thing, and you don't want to go backwards, you don't want to go toward the star, you want to go away from the star. You'll see why in a second. So now I'm going to pull up the star when I think I'm all done. Look what I made! I could add more paint to this side, I think. If you want it to be even, you can, but you don't have to make it even. So I just did one in red. Now I'll do one in blue. So I'll take I have another white star. So I'm going to hold down my other white star. I'm going to dip my brush in blue. And I'm going to make strokes outward. I really like to do this for pretty much any holiday I can. I had hearts for Valentine's Day. That was a really fun craft that we made at story time. And everyone gets really creative at it. You can finger paint if you want. If you want to get messy, you can just take your finger and make little dots all along the edges, because that would work too. Okay, so I think I've covered the whole edge in blue. So now I'm going to lift up my star very carefully. Dun da da da! What do you think? A red and a blue star. If you want it, you can make another kind of star. So I'm going to take another white, I'm going to put it down on my paper, and I'm going to attempt to do two colors. So I'm going to do blue on a little bit, but not as heavily as I did on the other blue star. That was all blue. So I'm just going to put little blue flecks outward from my star. Okay. You can kind of eyeball it. If you feel like you have enough blue, you can stop. Then I'm going to take my red paint and I'm going to go around as well. So when you do it, if you overlap the colors, what color does red and blue make? Do you know? Purple. Good job. So you might want to not overlap them too much. That way you still get the red and blue effect. But you can just experiment. Ooh. So now I'm lifting up my star. And there's one that's red and blue. That one's a little tough because, like I said, it will make purple. So if you're better at spreading out and doing like a pattern of where you do only blue and where you do only red, your star will look great. So there you go. You can decorate a piece of paper with it. You can make a wreath and to hang on the door. You can make some on a 4th of July card if you want it. You can do anything you want. Just get a star and some paint and flick the edges. So, are you ready to make all 3 4th of July presents? 4th of July crafts? You can make a very silly crown to wear at your 4th of July barbecue. You can make a hanging wind chime to decorate with. Or you can make a wall decoration with some paper stars and paint. And if you've watched this video, it's part of our summer reading program, our Fun Friday series. So, have you signed up for your READSquared account online? Good job! If you signed up for your READSquared account, you can log in the code word. And today's code word is fireworks. Okay, did you hear the code word? Are you ready? Are you ready to hear some of those? Okay, so if you've listened and you've heard the code word, you can go to your READSquared account and type it in, and you can get a raffle ticket. So thanks for joining me for today's 4th of July themed Fun Friday. Have a fun weekend and a happy 4th of July.